There was a young boy, like 10 years old, and he was a big fan of Mahatma Gandhi when Mahatma Gandhi was alive. And, he used to live in his ashram, I think somewhere in Gujarat. And this boy was a good boy, as the way, you perceive good. But he had one bad habit, and he couldn't resist sugar. He would munch on sugar like nobody's business. And his mother was really worried about him. And please, guys, understand, if you eat sugar, like spoons and spoons of it, like 10, 12, 20, is really bad for your body. It just suffocates, the cells in your body. So the mother, was so much worried and concerned. And every day, she kept telling him that stop eating sugar. It will really make you sick. He won't listen. He would carry on eating sugar. And the lady was, getting upset, angry, frustrated. Even she beat him up one day, and he won't still stop. And she did not know what to do. She was thinking and thinking. And then finally, this idea comes to her, goes like, okay, you know what? Because this guy believes in Gandhi so much, who lives in a literally like 5 kilometers away from that village. If I can walk down there and ask Gandhi, to tell him to stop eating sugar, he might do that because he respects him so much. So one sunny day, it's a summer day in June, it's heated weather, almost like close to 40 degrees temperature. She finds the courage to walk 5 kilometers, for like 2 hours almost. Gets to the ashram, waits for him because there are some people to see him before her. And after her turn comes in after an hour of waiting. And then when she meets, Gandhi, she goes like, thank you, for seeing us today. My son, is a big fan of yours. But there's one problem, I'm very worried about him. He eats a lot of sugar. So if you can just tell him to, stop eating sugar, I think he will stop because he really respects you and admires you for who you are. So Gandhi, looks at the lady, and then Gandhi looks at the boy and smiles, and then looks at the lady back and says, you know what, Banji, sister, please come back after a week. The lady is furious. Seriously. Obviously, she can't say anything to Gandhi because of the personality and image he's got. But, she just like somehow comes out of that, main hall, and she is furious in her mind. She goes like, it'll take me 5 hours, to do the whole process. Now I'm going to walk back again in this heat, sweating from all places. You can't imagine. Why can't he just say, what he thinks about himself, a guy with too much attitude, God's sake. Anyways, she's angry. She walks back home and she's upset, and she counts days, because she really feels for her son. And she thinks that's the only way, he can be cured. So she waits and waits and waits, and a week passes by. And then, she takes her son a bit early in the morning. She makes a planned journey, leaves her home, walks for 2 hours, reaches there. There are fewer people now. It's pretty like 11 a.m. in the morning. And after half an hour, her turn comes. She goes in and keeping, all her anger aside, she goes, we are here. You told us to come back. And she goes, okay, thank you for coming back, and he looks at this boy and gives him a smile and says, you know what, sweetheart, sugar is very bad for your health. So, you know what, you should stop eating sugar. The boy says yes, because he really admires him. So the chances are very high that he would stop now. Now the lady, is a bit surprised right now. Before she leaves, she can't help, though she doesn't want to, but somehow, she finds the courage, and while she was about to go out of the door, she comes back in. She goes like, is it okay if I ask you a question? Gandhi goes, yeah, please go on, sister, no problem. If anything else, you want me to tell him, I can. She says, you could have done this last time when I came, why the hell did you make me wait for 1 week, travel another 5 kilometers, come back here, 5 hours of journey, you understand, I don't have any vehicles to come here. And I come from a village, I walk from here. And then Gandhi, beautifully looks at, with grace, and compassion, and goes like, I completely understand. I'm not aware of it. I know that you'd have to take the pain, and I really feel for your son. But please understand, when you came last time, I was myself eating sugar. Maybe not at the level he's eating, but I was still eating sugar on a regular basis. So I couldn't look into his eyes and tell him. If I was doing it, I would be lying, So I had to stop eating sugar myself for a week at least to give him the message, that stop eating sugar. I think, this will make a bigger impact now, and he will leave because I can see it in his eyes and he can see it in my eyes.